Hi guys. Not sure if anybody is out there. I'm just making sure I'm in the right spot. And I think I am. And I didn't tell anybody I was going live. I actually thought that I might be able to record this ahead of time and post it. But today kind of got away from me. Now let me make sure that you're in the view. Okay, so I'm going to talk to myself right now because nobody's online, but that's okay. You guys can all watch this on the replay. The reason I'm here today is because it is a Friday and I do Fun Fold Fridays. So I'm going to probably do this for another maybe a week or so. Not sure, but I'm thinking I'm going to switch it to something else. I'll still probably record something or come on Facebook Live on Fridays, but I'm not sure it'll be Fun Folds anymore. Maybe I'll decide to do some holiday cards or something. Not really sure. But, so nobody's watching, but that's okay because now I won't have stage fright. But anyway, today's Friday. This is live, and I'm here to do a Fun Fold Friday. So I have this card in front of me that I'm going to show you how to make. But right before I do that, I just, these are the things when you're live. I could cut, if I wasn't live, I could cut out of the image. But what I realized is that I don't have my little sign out. So I'm just going to cut this down and put this out. This is for the end of September. If you decide to shop, that's my host code. And you can shop on my online store in case there's anything that you see today that you'd like to purchase. I would really appreciate your business. And this is the host code that you'd use when you go to donnasingleton.stampinup.net. Now my blog is donnascreativespace.com, and that's where I'm going to have the cutting measurements and supplies for this card. And I'll tell you as I go, but you don't have to worry about writing them down. You can just visit my blog and check them out. But this is kind of cute, and since I know it's getting cooler here in New England, but I just decided that I want to do a couple of more fall cards before we head into the holidays. So this is the Fun Fold Friday that I'm going to do today. I'm trying to fix my ribbon. And where are my, I don't know where my Stampin' Up! Scissors are, so I have to use these. I just want to, so this is the card, and I don't know if you can tell, but this is kind of cute. Now watch this. This is a tag punch that we're going to be using. This is the punch, and this is the fancy, I think it's the fancy label punch. So, and this is what you do. Look at this. I just think this is so cute. This opens up just like a regular card. Isn't that cute? So I just thought that we would make this today for Fun Fold. And then you just can tie it up so that when the recipient gets it, they get this kind of pretty little, I love this ribbon too, this pretty little card. And I'm using, this is the Gilded Autumn paper, and I am using once more, this will be it, then I won't use it for any videos. I'm using the Love of Leaves stamp set, which I'm just using today. I've only used a leaf and the little sentiment that says hello, and then I'm using the dies again. So I've already done all the die cutting ahead of time because I just don't want to take your time up. I wanted to get on and off quickly. So anyway, so what you need for this is I've got some adhesive, some liquid adhesive, and I've got my tape runner out. And I will put these supplies, what I used for cardstock and whatnot, on, like I said, on donnascreativespace.com. And so let's get started. So this is really just a regular card, and what I'm going to do, got all these little pieces, so let me run through the measurements. But if you miss them, you will get them on my blog spot. All right, so you have a regular card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. And then I have an inside Very Vanilla. I'm using Very Vanilla, whatever your inside mat is. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And then for the front, let me bring this card in so you can see this mat here. I used Early Espresso, and that's also 4 by 5 1/4. And then the Designer Series paper. This is the Gilded Autumn. It's really cute and pretty. This is 3 3/4 by 5, so it's a little smaller than this mat, just like that. Then I've gone ahead on this card. I used the leaf dies, and I've used Cajun Craze and Pool Party. Yes, if I didn't say so, this card base is Pool Party. And I used Cajun Craze and Pool Party here, but on this card I cut out a leaf in Crumb Cake. I want to try something different, and the Early Espresso. Then you will also need a little 1/2-inch strip of Very Vanilla, or whatever matches. I use Very Vanilla. I'm not sure if you can tell by this, but here is Very Vanilla and Whisper White. There's the difference, right? So with this Designer Series paper, although I could have used Whisper White, it just goes so much better with the Very Vanilla. So I'm not sure if this video you can pick up on the difference and how this goes with this, because sometimes the lighting does make things look a little different. So then we will also need, I use this wood grain right here and over here, a little strip on that side, and that is from the In Good Taste paper, which that package of Designer Series paper, you get so much in it, and there's so many good wood grains and marbles and tile, stucco. It's really a nice paper, great for backgrounds and stuff. So this piece here is, let's see, what was this? I'm trying to think now. This was well, I can use my little. This was 2.5 by 1 3/4. Right, 2.5 by 1 3/4, and then I cut out another piece from that is 3 3/8 by 1 3/4. Okay, and then for our wrap, see this thing here? Let me open it again so you get a good look at this. This is wrapped around, and I think it's fine on the back, but isn't that cool? I just thought that was a neat way of doing this. So I know, how many times am I gonna open this and tie it, but I do like this. So, oh, and this ribbon, I'll show you one second. Let me get this tied. I use this ribbon. This is gorgeous. This is Pool Party, but isn't this pretty? It's just nice and sheer and pretty. So that's Pool Party ribbon. I am using, I think I told you everything. Oh, I'm sorry, back to this. So this is a 2-inch by 9-inch strip, and we're going to do some scoring on it, but I've already got some ink on it right there, but it's 2 by 9, and I'm using Pool Party ink, and I am using Early Espresso ink. And I told you about the punch. This is a new punch, but you could use another tag topper punch if you'd like. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to move some of this stuff away. I keep losing some of these pieces, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this down right away, and let me get my this is the Seal Plus. Oops, went over the edge on that one. I really like to use my, if you don't have a silicone mat, it is a nice thing to have in your craft room because you can, see, it didn't even stick. It doesn't, any adhesive doesn't stick to it. Or if it does get on it, it just rubs right off. So I am going to mount, I'm going to mount the Designer Series paper right on there, okay? And I'm going to take my bone folder, oops, thought I lost it, and crease my card, right? And I'm going to put this right flat on my card, right? And then that's done. I like to get some things done and out of the way. And we're not wrapping any ribbon or anything around this, so this is perfectly fine to do this. All right, so now we have to score. Maybe we'll just do some inking, some stamping first. So with Pool Party ink, I am taking, because we're using a Pool Party base, I'm taking this flower, this leaf, and putting it just down in the corner here. And that's all the stamping. There's not much to it, so that's that. And I'm going to take the Early Espresso and the little hello. I just like this font. It looks like it came from a typewriter. And I'm just going to put it. The strip is longer than I need, but this way I can cut it off the length I want. Alright, so this is going to go on the inside, so I can go ahead and get that. Oops, get that out of the way. It is such a good day today. I mean, weather-wise, it's so pretty out, and it's nice. The air is nice and crisp and sunny. I think we're in a stretch for a few days of nice weather. All right, so that's going to go on the inside like that. And I just want to check online. I know it says I'm live, but I'm just making sure that I'm still in the right spot. So I always worry that I might be in the wrong area, but I think I'm on my Facebook page. That's good. Okay, so that's done. We have our inside. So let's do some scoring. So I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. Now, if you have a trimmer that does not have a, you know when it fell on the floor? I think here it is, my scoring blade fell off. But that's not hard, because if you have one of these trimmers, there's like a little divot here, and you just kind of go in at an angle and slide it right back in. Alright, so if you don't have a trimmer that has a scoring tool on it, you could use the straight edge of a ruler with your bone folder, or if you have the take your pick tool. I don't have the end on it, but if you have these are great. It has multiple ends, and I'm trying to see here. If you don't mind the noise for a second, it's in my, I can see it in my pencil holder, way at the bottom. So this is what comes with it. You get this end that has putty in it, right? And I believe it comes with, this is the set for $10. You can't beat this. You get a stylus end, which are big ball and a little ball, right? And then you get an extra head that has putty in it. And this putty, let me see if I can squeeze some out of mine, because you just kind of twist it a little to get it to come out. But what it's good for is picking up paper and little pieces or sequins. So the putty end's really great. And like I said, comes with an extra one. And then the other two heads are this. You get a spatula type end, which is great for picking up things, and this little pointy end, which is nice. So if you don't have a scoring tool, a scoring board, or a scoring blade on your thing, you could use a straight edge ruler and one of these ends, either the bigger ball or the little ball, and put your paper underneath and just run it right alongside, just like that. And that would score your cardstock. But since I have, put those back, since I have, oops, let me get this back to the way it was. Since I have my scoring tool on my trimmer, I'm going to use it because the dark one has the blade and the light one is for scoring. So just remember that. Some people actually put a little label on there for scoring. All right, so you're going to take your piece that's, like I said, 2 by 9. Make sure I measured it right. Yep, 2 by 9. And now we're going to score in 2 places. So I am going to score, and the first score is going to be at 1 1/4. So I'm going to line that up right here at 1 1/4. Oh, let me get my blade out of the way. So the first score is at 1 1/4. Right? Then I'm going to slide it over to 5 5/8. Right? 5 5/8 and score it. And that's all the scoring that we have to do. Then you're going to take your punch, and these unlock just like that, and you're going to punch both ends. Just like that. Slide that into the trash. And now we can fold these on the crease, and I think I'm going to go this way because I did get some ink on that. So score there, score there. No, actually, because that's going to be covered by a piece of paper, I'll do it this way. That way my back is nice and clean. And can you see how this is working already? So this is going to go right around our card like this. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I mean, it's the greatest, I think. It's a nice little way that you can make your regular card, and then you end up having a, any card you want you could do this wrap on. So what I'm going to use is, I'm going to use my liquid glue for this, because it gives you a little bit of extra time. I call it wiggle room. And I have this old, you might have seen another video that I said something about this. This is a votive candle holder that I've had forever. I think it's Princess House, but I'm not really sure. Maybe somebody can comment and let me know. That's the little emblem on the bottom of it. It looks like maybe a rose. And this one happens to have poinsettias on it. So I keep my glue upside down in there because that way all the glue is down towards the point. So I love when I can find something in my house that I'm not using. It's sitting on a shelf or in a cabinet and I can actually use it again. So anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to put some glue. You could use your tape runner for this, but I like the glue because it's a little more forgiving. So I'm going to put the glue on there, and now my card is going to get centered right in between this. So what I like to do is use my grid paper, and let me go back up here because I have to try to make sure I am in the video frame. And then I take my card, and I'm also going to use the grid paper for my card, and I make sure I'm going to go in between those 2 creases and lay it down so it's nice and straight. So I've lined up my card here, and maybe I should move it up a little. So I've used the grid paper down here, and I've also used grid paper for my tag band, I guess we'll call it, and that's going to come over, and I'm just going to give it another little crease, and this is going to come over, and I'm going to give that another little crease. Okay, so that is glued down in the back, and there you have it. And then the card opens like this. So then, I mean, this is really rather simple because now, like I said, I've cut these pieces already and I gave you the measurements, but you can always go on my blog site. So I'm going to glue this, and you could use the runner, but I'm using my glue, the liquid glue, because it does give you a little bit of wiggle room. So you can slide it. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but if you you could just kind of wiggle it back and forth like that. And then this little teeny piece, we're just going to decorate this side. So it is tiny. So this is good to get the adhesive on. And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it on this side. It's just to kind of continue the look of the wood across your tag band. All right, so we're almost done with this card. So now I've cut out, I just love the dies in this. They are so pretty because they're two pieces. I have them taped together. Let me see if I can, I'll just show you this leaf. I've gone ahead and put washi tape on the back to hold the two together, because this is actually two pieces. Here's one that's already, I can take apart, right? So I just took some washi tape. I knew I wanted, see, the outside edge cuts the leaf out. It also creates a stitched pattern in the cardstock. And I have my scrap box here. Let me see if I can find it for you. Just to show you what it kind of looks like when it comes out of your paper. So this is the piece that it was cut out of. So let me see if I know when I record directly with my cell phone, I think the quality is so much better. But let me see if I forget where the camera is on this end, I guess. So I'm not sure if you can see that stitching, but that's, so that outer edge comes out on that, your throwaway, but you could use it on a card. You could, as I leave, I'm back. So here I used the cutout, and I made, this was last week's Fun Fold Friday. So if you didn't watch last week's, go check it out. And I just cut out of the early espresso, but I used the leftover piece. See, I just used the piece here. This isn't a perfect square, and I just put some designer series paper behind it, and I ended up using it. But isn't that was a cool? I like that one. That was last week. So okay, back to this one. So anyway, I took the two pieces of the die upside down, the cut side down. The side that has the lines in it for cutting, and I'm trying to do this without getting my head in the way, but I basically lined it up because the centerpiece, let me show you, the centerpiece has the stitching down the center of the leaf. So I lined it up, and maybe if I do it on this, it might be better for you to see. Oh yeah, that's much better. Let me see now if I can get it in the video frame. So see that? So what I did was I went and centered it, and then I took my washi tape, it moved a little bit as I did it, yeah, move that over, and I took my washi tape and connected them. So now they stayed together, because I was doing a lot of my monthly class. September's card class was using this Love of Leaves set. So here's my leaf, and I have it taped together. So I kept it that way for these cards. All right, so back to this. So this one I'm going to put down flat, so I'm just going to take some adhesive, and I put this away, but this is where it comes in handy, so I'm going to put it here and here, across, and I could use my Take Your Pick tool. This Seal Plus is like little tabs. I don't know if you could see the lines. They're little tabs, and so I could just fold it over, and see, it doesn't stick to my, that's what I love about this. Have you ever put adhesive on something and you're not ready for it, so he's like, oh, now what do I do with it? I put it down my paper, I'm gonna get sick. Put it on your silicone mat. These are great to have because it's not gonna stick, but it's gonna be nice and safe for it, so it doesn't stick to anything else. So let's close the card. So I took my pool party ribbon and I cut it 16 inches. Now, you probably can't see this because it's out of the, I'm using the grid at the very bottom of my, see this? the bottom of my grid paper. It has a ruler on it. And if you don't have this grid paper, we do sell it at Stampin' Up. So it's nice to have. It's like 11 by 17, and it really protects your work surface. And especially if you're doing, like, you know how sometimes we stamp off. So this is something I'll show you. Like, if you were doing something full strength, let me see if I have here's a scrap of very vanilla. Sometimes you can get more shades out of your ink by stamping off. So if I ink up this stamp, now this stamp is kind of like a mottled look to it. So here's my first stamp, right? Nice and dark. But let's say, oh gosh, maybe I don't like that because it's too dark. If I stamp it again, see how much lighter? And if a third time, even lighter. So you can get 3 shades or more out of one stamp set. Of course, now I have to clean that because I used the early espresso one, and oh, actually, I forgot. I already stamped the inside. I didn't have to clean it while you were watching, but that's okay. It's done. So look at that, 3 shades of early espresso just by stamping off. So that's a little tidbit for you. All right, so now we're going to go through here, and tie a bow. Oh, I know why I was telling you that. I'm thinking, why was I telling them that? So if you were stamping, and now that I remembered that I already did this stamping in the pool party, if you were stamping, let me get another piece. If you were stamping and you were putting, I want to use the pool party now because this is just too dark. All right. So let's say you were stamping leaves on a piece of paper, right? Like this. But you know how sometimes you want to stamp off the edge like this? Having the grid paper is perfect for that because you're just going to stamp and then you're going to tear this up at the end of the night or the end of the day. And you don't care about getting anything on this grid paper. So that's why I was showing you this, the grid paper. So see, isn't that cool? So you just do your when you stamp off the edge of things. And I will have to fix this later. Came undone. All right, back to the card, Donna. Sometimes I get a little sidetracked, but I like to, when I think of things, I like to share them with you. Okay, so there, I have my ribbon tied. I just love the way this card came out, and I'm going to trim the ends at an angle. This ribbon is just so pretty. Okay, so remember, this has been sitting here, but it's still sticky, so that's going to go on here. This is a little different than the, on this one, I used Cajun Craze. Oops. This one I used Cajun Craze, so this is crumb cake. And now I took an early espresso, but this one I'm going to go up on a dimensional. And let's see, oh, somebody's watching. Well, that's good. It's always nice to have somebody watching. I'm sure there'll be people watching the replay, though. I'm not going to, my feelings won't get hurt. So now I'm going to take on dimensional and put this guy right here, like that, right? And then remember we stamped this little hello? Well, I didn't care how long it was because I'm just going to, when you cut your inside pieces, remember I'll open this one up. Remember the card mat for the inside is 4 by 5 1/4. When you take a sheet of cardstock and you cut it 2 4s or 8, right, going across, you're going to have a 1/2 inch strip down the side. Save a couple of those because they come in handy for these little type of stamping. So I'm going to try to cut it as straight as possible. You could cut it down, but it's such a small piece, it's a lot easier to. And now I'm just going to, it's easier just to stamp it on the big one and cut it. Now I'm going to just put a little bit of adhesive, and I think I just had it coming over the edge. Like, I think I'll just do it like that on this one. And there you have it. So this one, I will tie this back up again. And let's see. Tie it like this. Make my little bow. Get my little fingers in and out of this. It's always hard. I don't know what it is, but I think it's harder to do bows while you're recording because you're always worried that something's going to go wrong. So just pull your bows and there you have it. So we just trim this down. This is my one I made earlier, and this is the one I made today. So there you have it. That is our Fun Fold Friday for today. And like I said, here's my host code. If there's anything that you need before the 30th of September, that's the code to use. If you don't have a demonstrator, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to have you have your business, and I will try to earn it from you and do a good job bringing you these videos to help you. And if there's any questions, just let me know. You can reach me, go to my blog site, and there's a spot for you to sign up for my email list. And so that's it, guys. That's my Fun Fold Friday for today. As I said before, I will be putting all the measurements for these cards, the supplies and the measurements, on my blog. So just go to donnascreativespace.com. And when I will upload this to YouTube also, but I'll put a link after this video is done. I'll put a link to my blog space, so you'll just have to do one click and you'll be there. Okay, guys, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Bye-bye.